LeBron has made hundreds of millions of dollars in his career. He has reached the point where he doesn't have to make decisions based on money anymore. Number two, he has given the Lakers an incredible amount of faith. He didn't have a 4-year contract, actually a contract more than 2 years guaranteed, between the time he signed with the Heat in 2010 till the time that he signed with the Lakers. He went a decade without committing to a team for longer than 2 years. Then, before he had to, he extended his contract with the Lakers and had no player option in that contract. He has given the Lakers a lot of runway here. So he may end up not taking this option, and he will do it not only because he doesn't need to have the money guaranteed, but he may do it to give himself options and also give the Lakers options. So we will see what they do over the next 6 weeks. That's where LeBron has to decide. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see greatness in these offseason moves, okay? And it's not a comment on the organization. They just don't have much that they're holding that they can use. But Russell Westbrook comes off the books next year. That's $47 million. LeBron's contract is over $40 million. That comes off the books. We just talked about James Harden taking less than what he could get signed for to allow the 76ers to have options. The Lakers still play in Los Angeles. Next year, right, they will have salary cap space. And if LeBron doesn't sign this extension, he potentially is in position where he can vary what his contract is depending on who's available. So before we get into worrying about whether LeBron's going to do it and whether that means he's going to be a free agent and who could clear cap space for him, let's also pay attention to what James Harden's doing today and realize that LeBron has the option to do the same thing.
Russo, I'm going to ask you this because we know that LeBron James said he would go to Cleveland. He's open to going back to Cleveland eventually. He wants to play with Bronny. I think Bronny's eligible to play in 2024. Would it be a bad look if LeBron James decides to leave LA?
Yes. I mean, how many teams does he want to be on? Hey, Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland, the Lakers. Now he's going to go. That's true. 2 franchises. I love when he went back to Cleveland. I thought that. But, I mean, how many? LeBron, sit tight. What does LeBron worry about right now? And I'll let Brian handle the money. He does a much better job of it than I could. I don't know all the machinations with that. But here's what LeBron should be concerned about. Freddie, Kobe, West, Kareem, Baylor, Shaq, to a certain extent, Worthy.
Okay.
Those are the Lakers, and Baylor. I got Baylor in here.
Yep.
Those are the Lakers. Wilt was only there for a little bit. I'm even going to leave Wilt out. Those are the Lakers that are the legendary Lakers since 1960.
Okay.
Right now, I know this sounds crazy. LeBron's not there. They won the championship in the bubble. He has bounced around his whole career. They're coming off a terrible season. The 1 year he was hurt, we'll give him that. But they got more by Phoenix. He should sit there and say, hold on now. What is he, 37, Brian? Yeah. 37. I got about 3 quality big-time years left in my body here where I can play big-time basketball. I don't care what the Lakers, I don't care what I made $1 billion. Didn't even just tie Tiger Woods to be a $1 billion athlete. I don't need any more money. I'll do what you need me to do to make this team a championship-worthy team so I get the statue that these other players have gotten in L.A.
There's a noticeably, there's a name missing from that list. I'm double-checking.
Which one?
Magic Johnson.
Oh, yeah, well, geez. That is awful.
What are we doing here?
Am I a sports talk show host or not?
Shame.
That is just, how did I forget Magic?
You said Baylor twice.
Oh, my God. Magic. Can't yell at me and scream. Oh, my goodness. Who's this idiot? That put me in the list.
I'll give you another name that you're missing on that list. Steph Curry, who has 4 rings like LeBron. LeBron is always interested when it comes to his peers. If you're going to be regarded as the greatest player of your generation, I don't think there's any doubt about that LeBron James is the greatest player of this generation. But you don't want somebody to have more rings than you that's one of your peers. It wasn't a coincidence that LeBron James thought, I would love to play for the Golden State Warriors. He is very, very calculated. He does the whole drumming with the fingers, going, how can I make this work for me? He is always very good at controlling the narrative. And that's where this comes to the Los Angeles Lakers and the 2-year, $97.1 million extension if he wants to do that in August. LeBron is going to make sure Chris, Brian, and Christine that he's going to control the situation, no matter where he decides to go or if he decides not to go anywhere. But one thing he can't control, if Steph Curry gets another ring, the Golden State Warriors, and then another one, just like DJ Khaled, and another one, all of a sudden you can be regarded as the greatest player of your generation, but there's that dude that's among your peer group that has more rings than you. And somebody that's ego-driven like LeBron James, that may be something that even though he can't control that may be too much for him to deal with, especially if he's going to to your point, Chris, jump around from team to team to team to try to stack it and make it the best playground basketball team to control that situation.
I don't know if that's what his priority is going to be anymore. I think he loves living in LA. I think he absolutely is over the moon in love with the possibility of playing on the same court with his son. And, you know, that can happen in LA. And that can happen with a championship quality team. It doesn't have to be. I think those might be his priorities. And when it comes down to competing for a championship, I think that's where he might be able to be flexible on his money. But I mean, he's building this incredible compound in Beverly Hills.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a multi-year project. All these buildings they're building on his huge plot of land he bought. He loves being in LA. All of his business is just in LA. I mean, I think it behooves him to keep pressure on the Lakers to some degree because the Lakers have gotten a little bit comfortable knowing that they don't have to worry about his free agency at all. I mean, the Heat had to worry about his free agency after 3 years. The Cavs spent a decade worrying about his free agency, lost him twice. The Lakers have never had to worry about it. So I do think that there's some advantage to just keeping them on a bit of a shorter leash, especially when they don't spend and they don't trade future draft picks. Like LeBron doesn't want to hear about the 2027 draft pick. He doesn't care about that pick. So I do think there's something with that, but I think LeBron's priorities at age 38, which is when he will be a potential free agent, are just, and I'm not saying you're wrong about like seeing how he was a Steph. I just think that he's looking at the world a little bit differently. No.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't want to
can.
play with Steph. We've seen the joining of forces before.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. No more.
Yeah. Well,
beat Steph. Don't play with him.
Well, I wonder how much of that now more than ever before, because the previous discussion you had before I joined out here in terms of taking less money to make your team better, how much that has to be a part of his DNA with the Los Angeles Lakers. You can sign. I'm not against anybody getting their money.
LeBron has to decide. That's the key word, because there is a world in which he might not be a Laker. Just putting that out there. Wendy, what do fans need to know about the decision facing LeBron and the Lakers later this summer?
Yeah, so LeBron has 1 year left on his contract.